Hey guys, we're back with another video. So today's topic is
Confidence, what is it?
so I could start. So for me, I would say confidence is being okay with being yourself. Um, I feel like I used to be a people pleaser and I used to, I wouldn't say try to fit in with the crowd, but like I would be afraid to wear a certain outfit or say something I like in being scared of, the people I was with would be like, oh, I don't like that. Like, oh, you're interested in that. So I feel
Mhm.
like now I've grown more comfortable in my skin to just be able to be me. I don't care, what outfit I wear. If I want to wear high heels and dress up and go to Walmart, I will, you know?
Mhm.
So I feel like for me, confidence is just being okay with being comfortable in your own skin, not feeling like you have to change the way you talk, the way your personality is, the way you dress to please anybody. You could be an extrovert with a ton of introverts and you're okay with that, and vice versa. You know?
Yeah, I have the same thing kind of just being certain in yourself, just knowing who you are because like once you know you're like, "Oh, I know who I am. You can't tell me nothing." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I feel like it makes life so much easier with just being you. Like, it's like
Mhm.
the pressure is taken off of your back when you just roll up and you're just you. Like, there's no anxiety of trying to pose as somebody you're not or any stress like that. You just show up and, hey, it's me.
Yeah. I used to be a people pleaser too, and like I'm like working through that and stuff. And like so with being the people pleaser, you're trying to please everyone, but with having confidence, you find the people that are right for you, if that makes any sense. Like being a people pleaser, you're trying to be friends with everyone, you know, and you could get your kindness, taken advantage of you and stuff like that. And then like when you're confident, you find the people that are good for you. You
Yeah.
get what I'm trying to say?
No, that makes sense though, because we're not made for everybody.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it sounds harsh, but I mean, we're not. Like, we're not made to be everybody's friend.
Mhm.
It's nice in theory to try to be everybody's friend, but there's going to be people that may not like you, and you might not have done anything to them. They just don't like you.
Yeah.
Whether it's they're jealous of you or whatever, but most of the time, there's people that don't like me, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, you can go your respectful ways and I'll go my respectful ways, but that's just like dating. We're not made to date everybody. You
Right.
find that person, and or you find that friend group that's the right friend group. You all get along, there's no issues, you all understand each other.
Yeah.
And it could be just completely different personalities, but you all just click.
Yeah. I just I've been really noticing the difference between me, like confident me and not confident me. Because some days are better than others. But like also I want to say like when I'm more confident, it just makes me so much happier. You know what I'm saying? And like it just it's a vibe.
No, it is. It definitely it makes life, so much easier for yourself when you wake up and it's like, I'm okay with being me. I'm okay in my skin. No one likes everything about themselves. That's just a fact. There isn't
Mhm.
anyone in this world that is 100%. I just love everything. I'm just awesome, everything. Like, there's always going to be a period of time, where someone's like, I don't really like this about myself. But a lot of the times people accept it. Like, for me, eye color. I have, hazel eyes. And there's nothing wrong with hazel eyes, but I love blue eyes. And I would love blue eyes on me. But I'm confident enough to be like, okay, I want that, but I'm okay with what I got. So I feel like, that being said, once you kind of are okay with being you and accept, the flaws that you may have, your life isn't easy until you do that. Because once you do, it's like the weight of the world is off your shoulders. You feel good. You feel comfortable. You don't feel like you have to please the crowd. You feel like you could wear pajama pants, a ratchet outfit, and be confident, like, this is who I am, whether you take it with a grain of
Mhm.
salt, whatever. And I feel like with me in the past, and I do feel like confidence comes with age as well. I've
Mhm.
noticed the more I get older, the more confident I become. Do you feel like that?
Right. I do definitely feel like that because like being a people pleaser and stuff, you're worried about everyone's like opinion of you and like, what you can do, to keep make them keep liking you and stuff. And like the older I get, the more I realize like everyone has opinions. You know what I'm saying? Even if, you know, it's your own, how would I put it? Um like it's I think it's also a little bit of control thing because like you don't want anyone to like ever think of you negatively, like ever. But like everyone thinks negatively of you at some point. You know what I'm saying? Especially your own family. Cause like it could be something just as simple as like you wearing a crazy blouse or something like that. And they'll be like, "Oh, why is she wearing that crazy blouse?" But like it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. I do feel like a lot of it does start with family, and especially, some family members can be harsher than others. And,
Mm.
as you grow up, you start to kind of find a style you like and kind of step into your own self once you kind of, get to that age. And, family can definitely play a big role in your confidence. If you don't have your family to kind of back you up and make you feel confident, most of the time you're going to seek approval then from friends.
Mhm.
So it's definitely a challenge. And that's why I feel like, you know, as you get older and you gain more life experiences, successes, um, you start to kind of feel the need of a lack of approval from others because you're like, okay, I've done this by myself. I, didn't need everybody's approval. I was able to get a house myself. I got my job myself, my car. I'm self established. You start to feel the need of, well, I don't need all these people to tell me how it is, and I don't need, all of that. You kind of have that, I would say, more self awareness and self esteem of like your surroundings and how self built, you've become without all that, you know, need of approvals.
Yeah. I also feel like confidence is a lot easier to gain than you think. You know, it all can just start with your habits, like stuff that I do is like a self-care shower, so it's like an everything shower plus, the face mask, the skincare, everything else, and then, I'm just feeling myself.
No,
What do you usually
100%.
do?
I do the same. For me, I love, to like get my hair done, get my nails done. Um, just little things like that, just to kind of like, I don't know, enhance myself a little bit. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
fine without them, but um, definitely a full skincare routine, shower, feeling, nice and clean. For me, always helps. Even just a cute outfit. For me, if I look cute, I feel cute, you know?
Mhm. No, 100%. Like lately when I've been going out, I've been doing my makeup and stuff, and like I would just, go to Target or something. And like it's a mood booster.
No, 100%.
But you know what also could help with confidence?
What?
Alcohol.
I always said that. Alcohol is liquid confidence for me.
It is. It's dangerous.
It is. No, I do feel like sometimes I'm like Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
I'm
It's
like, dang, I'm a completely different person. I'm
it's
like, I
true.
feel unstoppable.
Alcohol makes you like almost superhuman because, I'm heftier. I ain't running. But as soon as I get that drop of the alcohol, I am a runner. I am a track star.
No, literally, there is something about it. It's definitely, it can be dangerous though if you rely on that. Um, you know, alcohol is fun, with your friends and stuff, but like when you indulge too much, it can definitely be a dangerous habit. But I would say
Mhm.
honestly the biggest thing for confidence, like you said, how it doesn't have to be, difficult, is mindset.
And like,
The brain is so powerful, knowledge is so powerful, your thought process, how you think about certain situations, like, you
mhm.
know, confidence doesn't have to be this complicated ordeal of, doing this. It can just be a simple thought process, when you look at yourself in the mirror, don't put yourself down. Embrace yourself and in your mindset and how you think about certain things and focus, on gratitude and positive self-talk.
Yeah, that was my last point was gratitude, and I'm not like saying, oh, a lot of it. I feel like it has a bad rep. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I heard the term toxic positivity, and like I don't understand. That's like an oxymoron. So I don't understand how that's supposed to work. But like, no, I'm thankful for my car. It gets me to and from work. I'm glad I have a job. A lot of people don't. I'm glad to have a roof over my head. Like some people don't. I have it pretty good compared to, everybody else. So it just I think it's being certain in yourself and being proud of who you are and what you have. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. I do think, we definitely live in a world where I would say not enough people talk about the good things they have in life. It's always, I want more. Well, this isn't enough. I want more and more, when we don't realize, there are so many people that have it so good.
Mhm.
Like you said, a car, a house, even just going to the grocery store to freely buy groceries and not having to worry about budgeting, you know, that is a huge thing to be grateful over. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
the simple things of, you know, how good we have it in today's world of, we have a microwave that can just automatically heat up food with numbers. There are
Mhm.
people in this world that don't have that right now. So it's just being appreciative of the things we do have instead of thinking about what the things we don't have. Think
Right.
about what we do have, and that is a part of confidence. And I feel like a lot of people don't associate those two.
Right. Like I remember, because there was a time, luckily I don't have to do it anymore. I used to have to choose between my light bill or my food bill, you know? And like now I'm very grateful to have, to be blessed and stuff and not have to worry about it anymore.
Yes, 100%. Because, I mean, that's hard, especially if, someone's never been in that situation, you know, coming from living in and out of your car to barely finding an apartment, barely even having any furniture, scraping by for food still, and then coming to establishing a house and, a career for yourself, that's something to have confidence over and to be proud of,
Mhm.
because those are big life goals. And, especially in this economy and stuff, that's huge things to be confident in.
Yeah.
And confidence, like you said, is little things like that, just being grateful for even that. And, with that being said, that ties into boosting your self worth, being like, I made it, an increase, in your sense of value, of awareness of, I was self efficient. I didn't rely on anybody, I was in and out of my car, but I still chose to keep pushing and keep fighting. And now, you have a career to fall on. You're not living in and out of your car anymore. You're not worrying about, okay, how am I going to feed myself, for dinner tonight? Now
Mhm.
you have that confidence enough to be like, I made it and I'm going to continue to make it.
Right. And another thing I didn't realize at the time was like sometimes things that I could be proud for, it was seen more like a job. So if you don't even recognize your own accomplishments, how can you be proud of them? You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. That's very true. And that's why I feel like when people who are kind of going through things like, it doesn't have to be some complicated, you did this huge thing, it can just be the littlest things, like moved out of your parents or bought a house or bought an apartment for yourself. I mean, those are huge things
Mhm.
that, and in society we take for granted, like, oh, that's just natural, that's just adulting. Well, not everybody does that. So I think
Right.
those are huge things.
Yeah, they're definitely super important. I was just kind of brought up in the way where like, oh, you did it because you had to, and that just kind of sucked the meaning out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just so something I have to do.
Yeah, 100%. That that's hard too, and everyone kind of, has their own um, families and stuff like that. So I think the biggest thing is just to have that self-awareness of, I did it, whatever my family, was proud of me or not, at least you can say, well, I still achieved that goal, which is a super big goal, to be financially independent. Um, that's something really to be proud of.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I think that was it for today. I hope you guys all enjoyed and stay tuned for our next video.